Alrighty, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, it's your friend and everybody's friend, Big Jon here, and this is another edition of Fuck You, it's my show, Smart and Cranky, and man, I'm cranky again today. I've been cranky all week. It's raining out here, so that must be why I'm cranky. I like the rain, but it just makes it even harder on someone that's trying to... On someone that's just trying to do their own thing and be, to get back and forth to work and all that. People drive like shit and it's rainy and cold and all that. Okay, and so the rain actually started off my day this way. So the subject of today's rant is parking spaces. Okay, and this is another reason I don't like working for big corporations, because the bigger the place, the more people that work there, the more problem there are with little mundane bullshit things like parking. All right, and companies, they all want to ramp up and they all want to do their own thing and they want to kick ass and take names and be a big player on the block. But they don't think about things like infrastructure and parking. So the company I work for now, which, I'm going to be a good boy because I want to keep working there. I'm not going to name it. But the company that I work for, okay, the undisclosed company, is increasing their workforce, all right? And they're doing it by hiring a bunch of people. And they're hiring them through places like Robert Half. It's a temp agency. I've never heard of anybody hiring fucking salespeople from a temp agency. That's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but that's for another podcast. So they're hiring these people, so therefore now we've got an extra 15 or 20 people, and there was already not enough parking spaces. I mean, there was enough, but you add another 15, 20 people, and it's going to be a problem. So, they have, I don't know, probably a third of the covered spots are reserved. Who they're reserved for, I don't know. Okay, but they're reserved. And so I understand, okay, you can't park in reserved spaces. But every now and then it'll be reserved, blank space, reserved, blank space, reserved. Okay, so the credo when I first started there was you can park anywhere, just not in a reserved space. If it said reserved on the overhang, you can't park there. So this morning I come in and I get there early because it's raining, and I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to deal with all the idiots out there. I'm going to get there early. I'm going to leave early, and that way I can do my own thing in the morning and I can get my Fit Crunch protein bar and all that stuff. So I get there, and I end up getting there way early. I get there about 20 minutes before 7 o'clock, and for me that's really early. So I back into the space, but it's raining and my windows are all beaded up with rain, and I can't really see where I'm parking. And of course, there's nobody there, so there's a lot of those spaces available. So I back into one of the spaces, and I was pretty sure that I backed into the one that didn't say reserved. And I sat there for a couple minutes in the car, kind of resting my eyes, just getting ready for the day. And I thought, I wonder if I'm in a reserved spot. So I got out and looked, and yep, sure enough, I was in number 17, and that's a reserved spot. So what did I do as a good employee and a red-blooded fucking American? I went and moved my car. I moved over to the next one, which was 16. That one did not say reserved. Didn't have a little reserved placard on there, and so as far as I knew, I could park there. So I parked there, I backed in, I did my thing, I went inside doing my work, and, this company has a ton of stuff going in and out, and what I did when I first got there is, I don't know if you guys do this with your email, but if you're trying to keep your everything straight and you're trying to be, you're trying not to just have emails everywhere, you can partition your emails. So you basically set rules, and you give everybody their own little file folder as opposed to everything coming into your inbox. So I've never really used that before, but they said this is something that works good for us. So try it out. I did try it out, and now I've got boxes for everybody, but I've got boxes for probably 10 different people that I get emails from all the time, bosses and other departments, etc. And then there's, I was getting all these emails from the company, and we're owned by a corporation, and we're owned by another company as well. So I was getting emails from Western Events and Eastern this and Southern that, and just all these different things. So I'm getting these emails from these places that I don't even usually pay attention to because they're just, in my opinion, like corporate spam. Okay, so I don't know why, but this morning after having a big problem with my money, because that's another thing too, I woke up and my direct deposit wasn't there, so I was all bent out of shape about that, but I was trying to be cool because I hadn't been there very long. So I get in there, I can't figure it out, and I'm asking people, I'm not just asking like, one of the new guys or one of my coworkers, I'm asking the available management that's there. I asked the guy that trained me. I mean, he's a new trainer, but he's a trainer, and it was an HR question about payroll, and they had somebody talk to us about payroll the first day. So I'm thinking this dude's gonna have the phone number to HR, to payroll, because I'd gone onto the website, because all these places now, they don't want to talk to you just like anybody else. They want you to go to the website. All the information's on the website. All the information on the website, Big Jon. Don't talk to us. Go to the website. Well, I go to the website, and that's the first thing I'm doing before I ask anybody. And then I see a help desk number. I call this guy. This guy answers the phone, and I don't know where the hell he was at, but he acted like I called Domino's Pizza instead of the HR department of our company. And I'm asking him like, hey, this is what I need. I'm having a payroll issue. Can you help me out? This may not be the right phone number, but can you give me the right phone number? And he's just sort of like, what? I don't know. Oh, baby, you're screwing up my deal here. You're screwing up my deal. I got to tell my wife not to call me while I'm doing my podcast here, because my podcast is important. Stop it. God, I hate when things interrupt. This is not professional. But anyway, so I'm just having all these issues, and I can't figure out what's going on. So I'm asking different people. Long story short, nobody has any answers. I asked the, infrastructure manager, who has about 7 different titles, and she looks at me like I'm trying to stalk her. I'm kind of following her while she's walking in at 7:15 in the morning. She's walking to her desk, and I'm kind of tracking her. I'm not like right on top of her, but I'm kind of tracking her. And she's like, "Are you following me?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." I said, "I have a question," and she's like, all right. She's giving me this weird look, and I said, well, here's my question. Blah, 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 payroll, HR, can't get a hold of anybody. And she's just like, well, I don't know. I mean, didn't you get one of these flyers here? I mean, the numbers, some of the numbers are on here. I mean, and she walks around like the cock of the walk, like she knows everything. And I ask her something that I think almost every manager should know. And she's just like, I don't know. Did you write your congressman? I mean, and so I was irritated about that. I'm thinking, what the fuck? I mean, who do you ask when you have these questions? Which, again, I like small companies because there's not that many people. You can ask a couple people and someone's going to know. I ended up getting the information that I needed to know. And, of course, here's the kicker is it ended up being my fault because when I changed out my card from about a week and a half ago because someone hacked into my online account and stole my money. So I put a different bank account in there, and I put the bank account in there, and I must have put it in there too quickly because I missed a digit, which is why I didn't get my money. But I still needed to know, needed that number for payroll situations for later on. I also needed it to know about my benefits. So all those things that I was pissed off about were still valid. And so this is how my morning goes. It's raining outside. I'm not getting any help at all. And I'm about to go postal. I'm shaking. I'm so angry. And I'm trying to keep my shit together because I can't go postal at another gig. Right. So I'm finally doing well. Things are going good. And it's about 11:30 and I'm thinking about where I want to go eat. So I'm looking in my email and I just happened to look in one of those, I'm happening to look in one of those email boxes that I just sort of pushed off all the corporate spam. And I look at it and it says, whoever's driving the charcoal gray Toyota, which is not mine, in space 16, that's reserved. You need to move. And I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds like my car. And then I ran outside to make sure that it was Space 16. I was pretty sure. Went outside, I'm thinking, okay, that's Space 16. It does not say reserved. There's nothing about it that says reserved. Well, long story short, I end up finding out that they had sent out emails a week ago after they added more spots. Okay, they had the construction company come in and like paint some spots around the area, and now they decided to cordon off even more spots and make them reserved, even though they didn't put up a sign or anything. So how the fuck am I supposed to know? But apparently, out of the entire place, I'm the one that gets singled out. And I'm just thinking, this is exactly why I always describe myself as Charlie Brown. Because, Charlie Brown, he went cruising around and he had his own little rain cloud that just rained on him and nobody else. And I tell you, ask my wife, that is me. I am the modern day version of Charlie Brown, or as my buddy at work who I tell all my stories to, he says, you're the second coming of Larry David, because all sorts of crazy shit, minutia just happens to you, and it's just fucking hilarious. So I hope you guys really are enjoying this, because this is some real shit that happened to me today, and my blood pressure goes through the roof because of this shit, but I can laugh at it, so I'm not completely insane. But I mean, this is just the kind of stupid bullshit you got to deal with to go and make $30,000 or $40,000 a year. You wonder why there's so many lazy motherfuckers around that are just taking money from the government and don't get up and go actually try. Because every time you try, this is the kind of bullshit you get. You get an email going, oh yeah, it doesn't say reserved, but that one's reserved. Well, reserved for who? Well, not for you, dummy. So move your shit somewhere else. So anyway, that is the the rant for the day. Is I am the modern day Charlie Brown with the rain cloud over my head. I'm the second coming of Larry David, and no matter how you look at it, I am Big Jon, and I'm going to keep ranting here on Smart and Cranky, because you know what? Fuck you. It's my show. All right, friends and neighbors, I'll see you again tomorrow, and we're going to go ahead and take it out with some applause, because this is the only applause I'm probably going to get. Thank you, guys. Be good.